NEC Article 210.52 pertains to receptacle outlet requirements in dwelling units. Specifically, it mandates that all habitable rooms and hallways within a dwelling unit must have at least one receptacle outlet installed for every wall space that is 2 feet or more in width. This regulation is universally applicable to all dwelling units, irrespective of their construction type or the number of units contained within the building. In the context of a dwelling unit with a main entrance access through a common corridor and an additional door leading to an exterior space like a small courtyard, the following considerations apply. The common corridor, by definition, is not considered a habitable space. Therefore, it is not subject to the requirement of having receptacle outlets installed. However, the small courtyard is classified as an exterior space. Consequently, any hallway that provides access to this courtyard is considered a habitable space and must comply with NEC Article 210.52. This implies that at least one receptacle outlet must be installed in the hallway that serves as a passage to the courtyard, provided that there is a wall space of at least 2 feet or more. To further clarify the application of NEC Article 210.52, it is essential to define what constitutes a habitable room and a wall space. A habitable room is any room within a dwelling unit that is used for living, sleeping, eating, or cooking. This includes living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, kitchens, and family rooms. Bathrooms, toilet rooms, closets, hallways, storage spaces, and utility rooms are not considered habitable rooms. A wall space is any section of a wall that is 2 feet or more in width and is unbroken by doorways, fireplaces, or similar openings. The measurement of wall space should be taken along the floor line. Where a wall space is interrupted by a doorway, fireplace, or similar opening, the wall space on either side of the opening is considered a separate wall space. The purpose of NEC Article 210.52 is to ensure that occupants of dwelling units have convenient access to electrical power for their appliances and electronic devices. By requiring receptacle outlets to be installed in all habitable rooms and hallways, the code minimizes the use of extension cords, which can pose a safety hazard if they are overloaded or damaged. In addition to the general requirement for receptacle outlets in habitable rooms and hallways, NEC Article 210.52 also includes specific requirements for receptacle outlets in certain types of rooms. For example, in kitchens, at least 2 small appliance branch circuits must be provided to serve receptacle outlets in the countertop area. These circuits must be rated at 20 amps and must serve no other outlets. In bathrooms, at least one receptacle outlet must be installed within 3 feet of each basin. The receptacle outlet must be GFCI protected. In laundry areas, at least one receptacle outlet must be installed for the laundry equipment. This receptacle outlet must be located within 6 feet of the intended location of the laundry equipment. The installation of receptacle outlets must comply with all applicable requirements of the NEC. This includes requirements for wiring methods, grounding, and overcurrent protection. All electrical work must be performed by a qualified electrician. To ensure compliance with NEC Article 210.52, it is important to carefully plan the location of receptacle outlets in dwelling units. The location of receptacle outlets should be based on the anticipated use of the rooms and the location of furniture and appliances. Receptacle outlets should be located in convenient locations where they are easily accessible. The number of receptacle outlets required in a dwelling unit will depend on the size and layout of the unit. However, as a general rule, at least one receptacle outlet should be installed for every 12 feet of wall space in habitable rooms and hallways. In addition to the minimum requirements of NEC Article 210.52, it may be desirable to install additional receptacle outlets in some locations. For example, in home offices, it may be desirable to install additional receptacle outlets to accommodate computers, printers, and other electronic equipment. In living rooms, it may be desirable to install additional receptacle outlets to accommodate lamps, televisions, and other entertainment equipment. The installation of additional receptacle outlets can provide added convenience and flexibility for occupants of dwelling units. It is important to note that the requirements of NEC Article 210.52 are minimum requirement. Local jurisdictions may have additional requirements for receptacle outlets in dwelling units. It is important to check with the local building department to determine the specific requirements that apply in a given area. The NEC is a comprehensive set of standards for electrical installations. It is updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology and safety practices. It is important for electricians and other electrical professionals to stay up to date on the latest requirements of the NEC. Compliance with the NEC is essential for ensuring the safety of electrical installations and protecting people from electrical hazards. Understanding the specific requirements of NEC Article 210.52 is crucial for ensuring that dwelling units have an adequate number of receptacle outlets and that these outlets are installed in a safe and convenient manner. Consider an example. A living room is 15 feet long and 12 feet wide, so based on the 15-foot wall, it would need 2 receptacle outlets. If the 12-foot wall is not interrupted, then 1 receptacle outlet should be installed. Also, if the hallway that leads to the courtyard is 5 feet wide, at least 1 receptacle is required in the hallway. Remember, this is a minimum code requirement, so you can install more than what the NEC calls for. The NEC does not limit you to how many receptacles you can install, rather how many are the minimum. Firstly, ensure that all electrical work is performed by a qualified electrician who is familiar with the requirements of the NEC and local codes. Secondly, carefully plan the location of receptacle outlets based on the intended use of the rooms and the location of furniture and appliances. Thirdly, install receptacle outlets in convenient locations where they are easily accessible. Fourthly, use only listed and labeled electrical products that are approved for use in the specific application. Fifthly, follow all manufacturers' instructions for the installation of electrical products. Sixthly, properly ground all electrical equipment to prevent electrical shock hazards. Seventhly, protect receptacle outlets with GFCI protection in areas where there is a risk of moisture, such as bathrooms and kitchens. Eighthly, regularly inspect electrical installations for any signs of damage or wear. Ninthly, repair or replace any damaged electrical equipment immediately. Tenthly, never overload electrical circuits or extension cords. In addition to NEC Article 210.52, there are other NEC articles that relate to receptacle outlets. For example, NEC Article 210.8 covers ground fault circuit interrupter protection for personnel. NEC Article 210.11 covers branch circuits required. NEC Article 210.12 covers arc fault circuit interrupter protection. NEC Article 406 covers receptacles, cord connectors, and attachment plugs. These articles provide additional requirements for the installation and use of receptacle outlets. In Westchester County, New York, electrical installations must comply with the NEC as adopted by the State of New York and any local amendments. It is important to check with the local building department to determine the specific requirements that apply in Westchester County. The local building department can also provide information on permitting and inspection requirements for electrical work. It is always recommended to consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that all electrical work is performed in compliance with the NEC and local codes. An electrician can help to plan the location of receptacle outlets, select the appropriate electrical products, and perform the installation in a safe and professional manner. Remember that electrical safety is paramount. By following the requirements of the NEC and local codes, you can help to protect yourself and your family from electrical hazard. For further clarification, consider the definition of habitable room. A habitable room is a room in a building for living, sleeping, eating, or cooking. Bathrooms, toilet rooms, closets, halls, storage or utility spaces, and similar areas are not considered habitable rooms. Also consider what a wall space is. Wall space includes wall space nominally broken by heating, ventilating, or air conditioning outlets, luminaires, and other similar equipment. Baseboard heating is a heating system that consists of electric heating elements installed along the baseboard of a room. The NEC does not specifically address the placement of receptacle outlets above baseboard heaters. However, it is generally recommended that receptacle outlets not be installed directly above baseboard heaters. This is because the heat from the baseboard heater can damage the receptacle outlet and the wiring connected to it. In addition, the heat can also create a fire hazard. If it is necessary to install a receptacle outlet above a baseboard heater, it should be located at least 12 inches above the heater. The receptacle outlet should also be protected by a heat shield. If it is not possible to locate the receptacle outlet at least 12 inches above the baseboard heater, the receptacle outlet should be relocated to another location. If you are unsure about the proper placement of receptacle outlets above baseboard heaters, you should consult with a qualified electrician. They can help you determine the best location for the receptacle outlets based on the specific circumstances of your installation.